Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Rossmere Park, a peaceful green space tucked away in the heart of Hartlepool, a place where seasons always leave their mark. Today we're here for a quiet autumn walk. The air is crisp, the trees are changing, and the park has taken on that familiar golden glow that only comes once a year. Rossmere Park has always been a favourite spot for locals, a mix of open grass, mature trees, winding paths and a large central lake that draws wildlife in all year round. As the autumn settles in, the scene changes completely. The green of summer fades into soft blends of gold, rust and bronze, and every step feels a little slower, a little more reflective. The lake sits right at the centre of the park, calm, wide, and home to plenty of ducks, swans and gulls. On quiet mornings, the surface mirrors the sky, broken only by a gentle ripple of birds gliding across it. You'll often see families here feeding the ducks, or joggers making their way around the water's edge, keeping rhythm with the breeze. In autumn, though, Rossmere feels more relaxed. The benches are often empty, the paths are quieter. It is a kind of peaceful stillness that makes it a perfect place to simply wander. Rossmere Park dates back to the early 20th century and has long been a popular community space. It's surrounded by a residential street, yet it feels surprisingly open, like a green pocket of calm tucked away from the business of town life. As you follow the path around the lake, you'll notice how the trees form a loose canopy overhead. At this time of year, they're at their most colourful, shades of amber and crimson against the cool grey of the autumn skies. Every gust of wind brings a small flurry of leaves across the path. Some gather in the corners and pile up along the fences, while others gently afloat along the surface of the water. It's one of those simple scenes that never really changes, and it's what makes it so grounding. If you take a moment to stop near the small bridge on the south side of the lake, you'll get one of the best views of the park. The trees frame the water beautifully across here, and in the distance you can see the reflection of colours that stretch out right across the lake. A few swans drift by slowly, occasionally dipping their heads beneath the surface, gracefully and unhurried. Further along there's a children's play area and a small skate park. Popular spots in the summer, but quieter in the colder months. It's nice to see how the park serves so many purposes: space for families, nature watchers, dog walkers, or simply somebody just needing a breather. You'll often find people walking their dogs here first thing in the morning, or just before sunset. The low golden light of autumn colours transforms the whole park: long shadows, orange highlights, and a peaceful hush settling in as the day winds down. For a town park, Rossmere offers a surprising amount of wildlife. The central lake attracts all sorts of birds: mallards, coots, moorhens, and the occasional heron standing quietly near the edges. You might also spot gulls circling overhead, waiting for scraps, or small birds darting through the hedgerows and pathways. In the autumn, with fewer visitors and colder days, the wildlife seems more relaxed, easy to observe if you move quietly. There's something quite special about hearing the rustle of dry leaves underfoot, and the distant quacks of ducks echoing across the water. For many local residents, Rossmere isn't just a park, it's part of daily life. Generations have grown up here, feeding the ducks, walking dogs, or simply sitting by the lake. It's one of those places that holds a lot of quiet memories. Birthday parties in the summer, first bike rides, and lazy Sunday strolls. When autumn arrives, the park takes on a slower, more thoughtful mood, a time to pause and notice the small details. The way the light filters through the thinning branches, the faint smell of damp leaves, the calm rhythm of footsteps across the path. Every visit feels slightly different depending on the weather, the time of day or the light. Even though Rossmere Park is fairly compact, you can lose track of time here. You can take the circular path around the lake and end up walking much further than you intended, looping again to take in the colours from another angle. If you're a photographer or someone who enjoys taking pictures, autumn is one of the best times to capture it. The low sunlight and rich colours bring everything to life. Even in overcast days, there's something beautiful about the reflections, muted, painterly and soft. Sometimes the simplest walks are the most restorative. You don't need distant mountains or famous landmarks, just a local park and a bit of time to breathe. As you make your way out to the far side of the lake, you may notice how the trees begin to thin out, giving wider views across the open grass. The leaves crunch more loudly here, and you can feel the cool air coming off the water. Every now and again a breeze scatters a handful of leaves across the path like confetti, a reminder that the seasons are shifting quickly. By late autumn many of these trees will be bare. The golden tones will fade to soft greys and browns, and the park will take on its quiet winter role. But for now, it still holds that glow, the fleeting mix of warmth and colour before the cold sets in. It's easy to overlook places like Rossmere when you live nearby. Sometimes, slowing down and seeing them through a fresh lens can remind you how much beauty is hidden in the familiar. This isn't a place of grand views or dramatic landscape. It's simple, calm and quietly alive. And in many ways that's exactly what makes it feel special. As we come to the end of the walk, take one last look across the gilt lake. The water moves gently, the trees reflect in ripple colours, and a few ducks drift by in the shading light. Soon winter will arrive. The park will once again change, but for now Rossmere stands in its autumn best, golden, peaceful and endlessly familiar. Thank you for joining this quiet wander through Rossmere Park. If you enjoy simple, relaxing walks like this one, there's plenty more to explore, from coastal paths to woodland trails and gardens across the northeast. Until next time, take care, keep exploring, and enjoy the calm moments along the way. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, and I'll leave you to enjoy the remaining footage. Please take care of yourself.